All right, we're live. Welcome everybody, if there's anyone here. We're going to test out the new little live stream setup. Hopefully this works. I'll wait for the notifications to go out. Now this is my first time using this, so hopefully we are in business. All right, let me just double check. Internet can see you. It looks like we are good. Pop out the chat. All right, hopefully we can test this out, see if it works, all that kind of cool stuff. So welcome everybody. We've got a little bit of an unboxing sort of deal today as well. We're gonna check out something. Not an unboxing, I didn't buy anything, but it's on loan and it's pretty funny. So I think you guys might get a kick out of this. Why is the live chat not working? These live streams, man. I tell you what, it'd be great if they just worked. All right, I can't see the live chat, so I'm gonna have to just go to my channel here and have a look, see if I can see the actual comments come up. Bear with me one sec. One day this will work properly. All right, there we go. We've got plenty of folks here already. Sorry about the delay in getting started there. I've just set up this little switching thing, and today's the first test. We want to see if the audio and video are in sync, all that kind of stuff, and then we're gonna switch over and check out this box that's about the same height as me. It's pretty hilarious. All right, Clara, welcome. We got Nathaniel, Emilio, Pork Chop, welcome. Kevin, Stop No Names, welcome, mate. All right, let us know where you're from too if you're watching for the first time. I think I know where a few of you guys are. So we're just gonna do a quick little test here, and hopefully this works. So the setup now is kind of cool. I can do stuff like this. So hopefully this kind of works. My camera is off center. I'll fix that next time. This is just a quick test. And then we can also do this. So if I'm playing guitar, the setup's nice and easy now. So this should be fun. So I'm hoping this all works. I got two of the same cameras and one that's, well, these are the same cameras I've always had, but this one is the odd one out, so hopefully it looks all right. Thumbs up, people. Thank you, Pork Chop. Dylan, welcome, mate. How you going? We got Romeo Zulu 57 and Kevin from Seattle. So welcome, everybody. I'm just going to scroll this forward. I should be streaming in like 50p as well. So if you're watching in HD, it should hopefully be good. That's the plan. All right, welcome everybody. We got Matthew here as well. And Joel from New York. Very cool, very cool. So I got a couple of things on loan right now, and one of them is hilariously big. It's a bigger guitar than the Flying V. It's gonna make for a pretty fun like comparison A/B video. Yeah, I haven't actually played this yet. I picked it up, I was like, man, this thing is huge. What's going on? Even for a short ass, or even someone taller than me, I should say, this guitar is huge. And it's different. We'll get to it in just a sec. Michael says, congratulations on the new Strat. I think the pickups, the 59 vintage, yeah, they are. So articulate, amazing clean tone. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm wrapped. It's the Strat I've been waiting for in terms of a Fender one at least anyway. So I'm really, really happy with it. Yeah, it's going to be the guitar I have for a very long time. You know, even if I do buy another guitar down the track that's similar, that'll still be around. So sometimes I just buy stuff now and then, at least maybe once, twice a year, in terms of guitars where I'll just have to buy it to do a review, but it is what it is. But yeah, that Strat's going to stand the test of time, man. It's awesome. How massive is this guitar going to be? I hope I haven't overhyped it too much, but all right, I just put some Lolas in my American Telly. Fantastic. Yeah, they're great. My friend Brian swears by the Lolas, so yeah, he's always got good tone. So very cool. All right, we might get stuck into this, and this will just be a bit of a temporary stream too. It won't be one that stays up, but let us know if everything's sort of working all right. I'm going to fix this camera. I must have knocked it before. Everything was looking good, and then I ran some more cables, and the tripods aren't fixed, so I'm a bit OCD. See how the posters look angled? Yeah, I gotta fix that. But anyway, this is gonna open up a lot of opportunities for stuff I do with like when Rick or my friend Neil comes around, we'll do a podcast. We can switch it on the fly. It's going to make life so much easier. All right. Cool, cool. Looks like we are still good. Damn, I just watched 3 strats comparison. Very nice, thank you. Yeah, I thought I might as well throw a quick video together of all those 3. So yeah, it was interesting. Like the Dan Electro, I hadn't played it for a while, and I thought it was going to be a brighter and less thick sounding guitar than it was, but it was kind of, not to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but it was kind of like the thickest tones out of all of the guitars. It was really strange. It had less top ends as well, but it's a different instrument, so yeah, it is what it is. All right, do I play bass? I do. So all of the backing tracks you hear on my YouTube channel are all me playing bass. Whether that's good or bad, it is what it is. I play at the jams occasionally too, so I got a couple of different basses. One I've had for years and years and years. Nothing flash. Ibanez Sound Gear SR300, I think it's called, or 200. But it's super cool, and a little while back I got a Harley Benton, which I've been using a lot more lately because it's got more of a traditional sort of PJ bass kind of tone. It's a jazz bass, but it's got you can kind of blend I guess you can blend the pickups on a jazz too, but yeah, you can get some pretty cool tones out of it. So Terry, welcome man. Which do I prefer, solid state or valve amps? Look, overall valve amps, absolutely. Especially playing live, you know, but when you're playing at home, it really doesn't make any difference. It's usually solid state amps or digital modeling amps and stuff like that will be a better home choice a lot of the time because you get a better sound at a lower volume. Valve amps you generally have to crank up unless they're sub 5 watts, and you can kind of get them going. I looked the 84 up and I think it's been discontinued. Yeah, you know what? I actually looked for that as well and I couldn't find anything on it anywhere. So yeah, I might actually, like a while back I was thinking of flipping it because I wasn't using it that much, but I'm gonna hold on to it because I feel like it's a bit of a gem. It's one of those guitars I'll probably never ever see again. So at least in a lefty. They'll probably redo them in right-handed at some point. I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah. Let us know if the audio is clipping or doing anything weird too, please. If there's any issues, I've got control over all this cool stuff. So let's see if this works. Oh no, I'm probably going to lose my audio. All right, I can't show you, but it's pretty cool. Shane, have you seen or know about the somewhat weird guitars of the Music Vox brand? You know, I haven't heard of them at all. So the next thing I need to do with this live stream setup is to set up a secondary monitor, which I've got over there, but I want to have it so like I can share stuff with people instantly, and that's what this will allow me to do. It's got this really cool feature, like if I go over to here, I haven't actually done this yet, so hopefully it works. I can kind of do something like this. So I can bring up a second camera angle or a second whatever. I'm not even sure how to do that just yet, but it's been a while since I've used one of these things. But yeah, I'm going to be able to do some cool stuff live, which is the plan. That was my goal. Audio and video is okay, thank you. Awesome stuff. All right, I'll take a couple more questions and then we'll break out the big guns. Fender GTX 100, Fender Champion, or Tone Master? They're all completely different to each other. Price-wise, everything. Feature-wise, I'm not sure why like the Tone Master keeps getting thrown in with the rest of the modeling amps. While it is a modeling amplifier, it only does one thing, and it does it extremely well. So completely different to the other 2 amps. You got to find out what is more important to you and what you can afford, because the Tone Masters are pretty expensive in most places around the world, but they're unreal. For what they do it extremely well. All right, I'm going to show you this. Yeah, so don't think that the Tone Master is like a toy amp, because it is an absolute beast. All right, see how we go with this. How about that? All right. So this thing is ridiculous. This is so big. Where's the chat gone? Come back. There it is. So yeah, it's gonna make doing live streams a bit more fun. Being able to sort of switch views every now and then. So yeah, who wants to have a guess what this is? It is a Gibson. I'll give it away. Now, just as a point of comparison, I'm gonna get my Flying V out. Get it out of the cupboard here. You know, this is pretty big. This is pretty big, but it's nowhere near as big as that. Oh, you know what? It's just as long. I wouldn't have guessed. I actually thought it was going to be... Oh no, it's a little shorter, but not by much. All right. First one to guess gets to keep... No, they can't keep it. It's not mine. A case is... Man, I tell you what, this case is huge. They had a box for it as well. And the box, look at it. It comes up like pretty much to the top of my chest almost. So yeah, it's ridiculous. But we're gonna have a quick look at this, and this will be coming up on the channel. I gotta get my, I gotta get some video shot over the next few days, and oh, look at this case. Are you kidding me? I thought I'd change the channel name to Hetfield Fanboy, but no, I actually like Metallica. But you ever seen Blues Guys play one of these? I haven't. Hopefully it... You know, the interesting thing about this is it has exactly the same pickups that are in the Flying V, the Burstbucker R1 and R2s or something like that. So yeah, a lefty. I'm stunned. I'm stunned Gibson actually make a lefty in one of these. This is super cool. So yeah, this will be the next, or one of the next videos. I've actually got a guitar that's about twice the price sitting in another box that I'm not going to unpack on this video because it's all boxed up. But yeah, I've got another custom shop Les Paul sitting over there at the moment. So you're going to see a mix of stuff. You know, one of the cool things about what Gibson are doing now, they're putting photos when they're born in the cases. Like they, you know, once it's done and it's finished, they take a photo, they print it out, they put it in the case. Even on the what's it called, the special that I got, that was it also included a photo. I thought that was pretty cool. So that's coming up. That's going to be a bit of fun. And yeah, it is an absolute beast. So yeah, they're just on loan. I just go pick up the stuff that is of interest, and then I run it back to the store. So that's that. There is a few other guitars I've got. I've got one of the new PRS custom 24s, like the one I've got, but one of the new ones. So we might do looking goof that guitar. Sorry, late. I don't know what that means. Oh, good. Sorry. Yeah, okay. That's right next to the G and the F keys are right next to each other. Thanks, mate. What was I going to say? Yeah, so I'm going to compare the PRS SE Custom 24 2020 against the one that I've got, which is 2 years old now, I think, 2018. I've never seen a lefty in an Explorer, me either. I saw it, I was like, what? It's been there for a little while, and I was looking for stuff to video. I was like, man, maybe I should give one of those a go. So I don't know if it'll be I don't know what kind of stuff I'm going to play on that's going to not get hate, but I'll just do my thing and see how we go. Flying V bass, yeah, that's pretty much the sort of size of their case. Yeah, absolutely, Joey, sorry. Hey, Wobbly Boost, welcome. Let me just scroll back up in case I missed anything here. Yeah, so that, I'm almost like 100% certain that guitar is going to sound great. You know, it's pretty much going to be, I'm tipping indistinguishable tone-wise from Flying V, just having the same pickups and pretty much the same setup. Whether the note length has changed with extra timber or whatever, I guess we'll find that out, the sustain, all that kind of stuff. But it's light. It actually looks kind of, it would be something I would never buy, right? Like I wouldn't buy one of those, but I love the vibe of it. It's pretty cool. It's a table with guitar strings. yeah, pretty much. ZZ Top. Oh yeah, well there you go. Maybe I should do something like that. I'll come up with a new little track. So I am working on something kind of special at the moment. It's a bit of a learning curve. I've been at it the last 3 days, learning something close to note for note. I don't often do that, but it's been a good experience, and yeah, I'm going to do a bit of a fun tribute to some of these guys coming up over the course of the rest of the year. So hang in there. Something new's coming up anyway. You know, there's only so much gear you can test, and I really look forward to testing stuff I haven't actually tried something of before. So for me, like that's, even though it's completely different, it's super cool. Like it's something I've never actually used before. So I'm looking forward to that. But when I get something that I've already done 18 videos of over the last 10 years or 12 years or whatever, that's when I'm going, it might be time to do some different stuff on the channel. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Thanks, mate. Got a nice mixer lined up for your advice. Nice to catch you again. Thanks, Wobbly. I saw Tommy Shaw played an Explorer on a few Styx albums. Okay, cool. Stax? How do you say that? I can't remember. Yeah, Billy Gibbons, far out. I totally didn't even think about him. Absolutely. Do you guys remember the story of the guy who fought a thief off in his house with a bass? He'd be dead if it was that guitar. Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah, the Explorer is a beast. Surprisingly though, that guitar is way lighter than the Les Paul is sitting here. Les Paul is, it feels like the box is 11, 12 kilograms. I don't know what's going on in there yet, but I guess we'll find out. I think I'll probably be the first one to play that gold top as well, which will be fun. I like being able to sort of test stuff out and then take it back and not have to stress about it, you know, like, yeah, guitar that expensive, I don't even want it in the house. Oh, at least not for long anyway. Anyone have any recommendations for leads, patch leads for new pedal boards? Yeah, so there's a couple that I use that I really like. Is it the Warwick ones? They're really good. The Covenant cables are a good value and they're fine. I've been using those for years. I've also got some of the Rattlesnake. I don't have Rattlesnake patch cables. Oh no, I do. I've got a few of those as well. I'm just looking around where my pedal board's in the other room. But if anyone else has any suggestions, go for it. Ernie Ball pancakes. Yeah, there you go. There's another great one. Can we unbox the Les Paul? All right, well we can. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Who wants to see the Les Paul? You might as well. We just did that one, so now if this breaks or anything, I'm going to be devastated. No, we'll be fine. All right. I'm glad this stream's working. You know, I had one of these little switches a little while back, but my internet sucked, and I think it wasn't working properly because of all of that. So no one's complaining about the audio sync and stuff. So it looks like we are good. Yeah, it's fun to be able to test this stuff. I ought to give Gibson credit, man. They know how to pack their stuff. And just so you know too, there's other brands of guitars coming up, not just the Gibson stuff, but I wanted to sort of do a bit of a showcase of this because it is different to what you'd normally see in lefties. You know, you can get Strats and Tallies and all that sort of stuff, but you don't often see some of these in, man, this is so heavy. This has got to be 10 kilos, which is 22 pounds. Oh, maybe not 10, but it'd be close. Now that I'm working out again, I can kind of tell. But yeah, it's got a lot of weight. So what I might do, let's see what. Yeah, there we go. That's that one. Let's do it this way. All right, so you can probably tell by the case. I think, ridiculously enough, these cases are worth like 800 bucks. What a joke. But they're beautiful. I gotta say, they are absolutely beautiful. So let's have a look at this. Oh, look at that. Hot pink. Beautiful. So Gibson put little headstock protectors in there as well, which is probably a good move. Instead of like addressing the issue, they decide that that's a better option. So this is the 56 custom shop. I think it's called like an R6 or something possibly. Usually it says it on the back, but it just says Gibson custom shop. I'll go through all the specs and stuff before, obviously I do the video, but yeah, I used to have one that was very, very similar to this. Actually, it'll say it on the box. It is a 56 Les Paul Gold Top. Yeah, custom shop. So there you go. So this is pretty much the same guitar I had a while back, but newer. It's got a big chin-tune. Wow. Oh, it feels really good to play. So yeah, what do you think of this? This is a bit different for at least a lefty. I know all the right-hand players are like, yeah, another gold top, but it smells good. It's got that smell. So this is this year's custom shop. There's the back there. Someone just wrote, I heard they did lower the angle of the headstock, but traditional was bitched about it. Yeah, that's the problem with the guitar players, man. They hate change. I don't know what it is. Not all of them, obviously, but you know, you address and fix a problem that makes something better, and then all they want to do is get the one that was like, oh, you've changed it, it's not as good. It's like, yeah, it's actually better, but yeah, you believe that. So yeah. This always reminds me of Sean Costello. You know, there's been a lot of great gold top players out there, but Sean Costello was one of the best. He died at 30. I don't have him on the wall, so that's a guy I'm going to add. Fantastic player. You know, probably the biggest influence for me to get a gold top out of everybody was Sean Costello. Just a really great singer, like phenomenal. Just. Yeah, this is beautiful, man. Like, look at that. I think this camera represents the color a lot better, actually. It's a darker color than what you just saw on that one. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Very cool. I'm not going to plug it in. I don't have all the setup complete yet. It was a bit of a test to see, one, if the audio worked this time, as well as the switcher, and it looks like it's all good, so we should be in business. The next one I do, I'll be able to set up the Kemper properly and have it all work. But yeah, it's a little bit of a cable management nightmare, but I'm liking the fact this works. This will be cool. We've got Ross McGregor says, hi from Western Australia. Welcome, mate. I got a Marshall DSL 40 CR 2 weeks ago. In part thanks to your review. Thanks, and I love your content. Sorry for the copy and paste. Guys, I just hoped I would read it. Sorry if I missed your comment before, mate. I didn't mean to do that. I was probably unboxing something, or yeah, sometimes I look away. But you know, appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Yeah, those amps are the best. You know, I often get asked what's my favorite amp, and it's a hard amp to beat. It just is unreal. I love it. Get the logo fixed. Oh, like because it's upside down. So I'll tell you a quick little bit of history about Gibson. They've always done this. It's one of the few things I know about being a lefty. So This is basically a right-handed guitar minus this, right? So you get a right-handed neck. So all the logo's upside down. This is just how they do it. They don't accommodate the wiring. If the neck was coming out of this side and you were playing right-handed, on is this way. Yeah, so as a lefty, these roll backwards is on. Fender don't do that, right? And I'm used to that with Fender, I love it. But I'm so used to Gibsons and Tokais and all kinds of brands having right-handed pots or right oriented pots. So they go the reverse of what you'd find on most guitars. So imagine if you're right-handed, on is this way, right? You'd be turning it this way. And that's on for a lefty, but that turns into backwards this way. So yeah, I don't know why they do that, but yeah, you're right. The headstock logo, it's just their thing. It's part of what they do. Why accommodate for the small percentage of us idiots? I noticed the plate is for sale, 52. Oh, the name. Oh, that plate there. Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, it looks good. You know, there's a weird thing online about Gibson still. You know, they've had they've had so many, they've made so many stupid decisions online. Like, their marketing team are a bunch of, you know, they can't be the brightest people in the world, I gotta tell you. Fender just nailed that. The whole online marketing thing, they got it down. Gibson, they just don't. They make so many stupid decisions. But, and then they went through like a couple of good years or more of like quality control issues and all that kind of thing. And then they got it right, and then they released, you know, those infamous, or that infamous video about Authentic, and you just got to go, what are they doing? They're making good instruments. Don't destroy your image again. But yeah, this is perfect. It was in tune out of the box. It's probably flat, but it's in tune to itself anyway. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so I don't know what it is about Gibson not changing it and making lefties, you know, with the pots that roll the right way. But it's funny enough, though, all the clone companies like Tokai and Epiphone guitars, they roll the correct way. They roll the way you would expect them to if you're a right-hander for a lefty. So they go the right way as a lefty. So it's only Gibson, the Japanese companies like Tokai, probably Orville and all those as well would have the same reverse pots for lefty. It's kind of weird. Cooking some steaks, what we were looking at. So we had two different guitars. We got I was about to say an Epiphone, a Gibson Explorer back here. In the case of Doom and Destruction back behind here, it's this huge plank of brown box back here. It's huge. And yeah, and the custom shop Les Paul. Artist Tweed, you had Shane's worth getting one, or did you? Oh, hang on. Artist Tweed, Artist Tweed you had, is it worth getting one? Did it have effects send and return? So no, there's no effects loop on it at all. The cream tone has that one. The Tweed tone is a great amplifier. It's one of the best. One of the best small amps I've ever had. It's gonna outlast. I have no inclination to go buy like a Blues Junior or a Classic 30 owning that amp. I love it. But if an effects loop is essential, then you'd need to get the cream tone. They're voiced very differently to each other too. Do you like to swap the pots out and make them lefty? No. Nah, once I start doing that, I got this weird switch in my brain. So anything that's like a Strat, a Telecaster, or any small guitar very similar to that, they'll all go forwards. And if they don't, I might mod it. But I haven't really come across any smaller sized guitar that would except for the PRS SE, but I think they've changed that now. PRS are also guilty of that, putting the pots that go backwards on their SEs. But I think that might have been changed with these new ones. I'm yet to sort of find that out yet, or not. I haven't plugged it in. But I heard they've changed the orientation of those. But anytime any archtop guitars or Les Paul style ones or the Little Crow, even though that's kind of like a Tele, it's still got that F-hole thing. I much prefer the pots to go backwards. I only want the forward pots now on the Strats and Teles because, yeah, any other situation it gets too confusing. So I like to separate them like that. A lot of stuff late to ship this year due to COVID. Yeah, absolutely. So anyone ordering online, if waiting on stuff overseas, especially locally, you'll be fine. But yeah, it is hard to get stuff at the moment. Have I tried the Yamaha THR amp? I've tried one of them at a shop briefly, and it sounded pretty cool. It sounded like a produced guitar track coming out of a small box. I just think they're way too expensive for what you're getting. I think they're a great sounding amp, and if you can afford one and justify it, go for it. One of my favorite amps of all time is the NUX BT Lite. They're $100. They sound amazing. They've got pretty much the same sort of functionality. They're a Bluetooth speaker, a million different sounds. I would say just go for that. The Yamaha stuff is good. I think they're 425 Australian dollars or something for a little amp. Like, it's just, really? Hey, thanks, David. He says, man, love your work. Your passion for what you do shines. Thanks, mate. I love making videos. I love playing with stuff. It is fun. For those who have just joined the stream a little bit late too, you're going to see some changes coming up. Like my trip away, like I've said this before, it was supposed to be a lot of different stuff that I had planned that was going to be really fun. So I'm going to start doing a few things that are going to be a little bit different coming up at some point. I'm a little bit behind right now. The cat thing has been pretty tough. I got to tell you, he's not settled in that well, unfortunately. So there's been a lot of sleepless nights, and I don't really film when I'm tired because the videos suck. It takes me 5 times longer. So yeah, we'll see how we go there. Yeah, the Blues Junior doesn't have an effects loop either. Pretty sure. No. Wobbly says, you got a good brain and share good advice. I got to go play on stream, but look forward to hanging out. Thanks, mate. Take it easy. Thanks for hanging out. My guitar tech just switched the soldering iron wires on the back of the pots on the Les Paul. Yeah, you can do that. A lot of people think you need like particular left-handed pots. I think the whole wiring is mirrored, because if you look at a left-handed Strat, for example, and you compare it to and I learned this from Rick. This went way over my head. If you look, or if you go to install, say, the Joe Barden pickups, if you took that right-handed wiring diagram and flipped it and you could see through it, that's the left-handed wiring diagram. So everything's basically the same but reversed. So yeah, you don't necessarily need to change the pots. There's some people that say there are particular left-handed pots out there, but I don't know, man. I haven't seen any. I've replaced lots of pots in my guitars with the Emerson Pro pots. I got a bag full of those things. They're awesome. And they're all right-handed. Like, none of them specify being lefty or anything. It doesn't matter. That's fine. You put out the content when you're in a good mood and just really stoked caught your life for the first time. Hey, thanks, Ross. I appreciate that, man. My pleasure, man. Yeah, today's live stream, we're just checking out so I don't know if I can move this without, I'll see if I can, which one's this? That's that one. So we got, hey, thanks, James. I appreciate that, man. So that's what I'm using on the desk right here. Let me just focus this a little bit better. Let me just get to the super chat. James, thank you, man. Any good Chris Kane songs or albums? Man, yeah, absolutely. Unscheduled Flight is one of my favorite ones of his. I love his live stuff. I like his live stuff better than his albums. He's just so much better live. There's a really great, there's one of the guys that was on our collaboration jam session. His name was Rafael Nasta, or Rafa Nasta. If you look up Rafa Super, R-A-F-A Super, you'll find his album with Chris Kane. That's really good too. They're both monster players, man. So yeah, just go through the archives. Type in Tommy Castro and Chris Kane into YouTube. One of my favorite jams of all time. 10 minutes of Chris Kane just going off. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So thank you again, mate. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm just using this little switcher. This is one of the things I saw, or that Peter Gregg actually uses on his YouTube channel. He's a camera guy. He does live streams every single night. And I had another one of these a while back, but it was full of unnecessary features for what I needed. You might see I got these on here at the moment too. That's probably a bit of a spoiler. But yeah, so that video will eventually get done. Thoughts on the Orange Crush 335 RT amp? You know, let me have a look. I've only played a couple of Orange amps. I don't know if I've played that one, mate. I'm not too sure. If I have, the only chance I have played one of those was maybe when I did the Sky Music YouTube channel videos for a little while there. So yeah, that would be my... I've played a couple of Orange amps, but I don't know if I've actually played that one before, mate. I apologize. What do you recommend for a low watt tube amp for blues and classic rock? Any experience with the Supro Blues Kings? The Supro amps are really great. I had to listen to their small practice amp. It was let me just double check if that's the one. I saw one of my friends did a video on one, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it's a different amplifier. You know, that's another one I haven't played. Supro amps are generally pretty great. So there's just one of them. One of their little practice amps was really spiky. Like it had this nasty, awful top end. And it seemed like it was on every video. It might have sounded good in the room, but on a lot of the recordings, it was overly spiky. So just have a good listen, trust your ear. If you like it, it'll be fine. In terms of what I'd recommend, you know, you want to get something 5 watts or under that you like the sound of, and don't get a Marshall Origin 5. Horrible. Rocking the old Microsoft. Yeah, you know what? I've had this this keyboard now for probably. I had 2 of these, right? The last one that I had died about a month ago, and I had this on my other computer. This has got to be 12 years old. I reckon it's wired as well. So yeah, it is old school. Stu Mac as Lefty Pots. Yeah, I don't know if they're any different, to be honest. I guess we'll find out at some point. I did ask somebody about that at some point. It may have been Emerson. Listen to Tommy Emmanuel since he's also Australian. Yeah, I don't really. It's not really my style of music. I can appreciate, like, he's probably the best guitar player maybe in a long, long time in terms of acoustic stuff, but it does nothing for me. I'd rather listen to any of these guys on the wall, even though they're not anyway, well, apart from Chris Kane. Most of the rest of the guys aren't. Mark Knopfler's great too. I take his playing over Tommy Emmanuel's any day of the week, man. It just gets me in the right spot. Tommy is amazing. Like, he's got all the chops. I just find it kind of boring. I don't know, acoustic solo stuff. It's not really for me. But with that in mind, I love his electric guitar playing, and Dr. Rick from the channel used to play with him when he did his blues tour years ago. So yeah, and I saw some Josh Smith and Tommy Emmanuel and maybe Eric Gales, I'm going to say, or Matt Schofield possibly. I can't remember. And that was awesome. Like, Tommy's approach was completely completely different. He was playing all this great chord stuff, and it was unreal. But yeah, I don't really get into the acoustic stuff with anybody. It's not just Tommy Emmanuel. I don't really enjoy acoustic at all. Really listening to it, it just bores me. I can appreciate it, but it really bores me. Shane, have you ever played Schecters? You know what? I haven't. I've played one. I played one Schecter, and that is it. They make 40-something left-handed guitars, so that might be on the cards at some point. You know, one of the places I was supposed to go to in Florida had all of them. So maybe another time. Hey, Grumpy Digger, thank you, man. The In the Blues hoodie and shirt are on the way. Wow, thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. I always forget about the merch stuff, the tees and that. I don't really plug any of that stuff. It just pops up, I know, on the videos. But hey, thank you. I've actually got. I had a Pro designer shirt that was supposed to be in conjunction with this trip, but I'm going to hold off releasing that until I actually get to go do it. It is unreal. Everyone will. I'm sure you'll love it. It came up beautifully. I just don't want to release it because I figure it's not going to make any sense up until the point it happens. So, yeah. The new non-shiny posters look great. Thanks. So, yeah, I've replaced a few of them back there. So, White Zombies, they're all matte finish now, most of them. I had to get rid of those shiny ones that they were not very pleasing to the camera. Thanks again, Grumpy Digger. I appreciate your support, man. Thanks. Yeah, he's amazing. Not my style either. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I could listen to someone and say, "Oh, this guy's the best acoustic player that does this certain style." After 3 songs, man, I'm done. I'm just, where's the band? I want to hear the bass. I want to hear a great drummer. I want to hear someone who sings. And that's not to be overly critical. It's just the way that my ears work. I'd rather hear less, like Buddy Guy, right? He's a great blues player. Tommy is on another stratosphere, whatever you want to call it. But I'd take listening to Buddy Guy any day of the week. The vibe of the band is just, it's great. I'd love to see Tommy play with, a group of musos like that with a great lead singer. Man, it'd be something else. I'd watch that for sure. Vox AC 15 or Origin 50? You'd probably want to, if you're going to buy one of those two, I would say get a Vox AC 30 S1, one of the single 12-inch Vox AC 30s. I would stay clear of the Origin amps, man. I don't think they're very good. The 50 is probably the best one out of the whole range. Or the head, because you can put it with a better speaker box, but I find like they're not built that well. I remember when I got my Marshall, I've said this before, the DSL, everyone's like, "Oh, wait for the Origin amps," all this hype at NAMM, and then I got to try one, I'm like, I trusted my ears. And the build quality on mine is like, it feels like a much more robust amp. The Origins, I have a really hard time recommending them. So, yeah, I don't think they sound very good. I would take a Vox AC30 S1. Get a 30 watt one, because the 15s won't be loud enough if you're thinking about a 50. Eastman guitars. Eastman guitars are great. Yeah, I mean, I've commented on those at the Guitar Search Saturdays. I've tested a few at Jerry's Lefty Guitars over the years. Yeah, they make good stuff. Hey, thanks, Ross. Cheers, man. If you go to any of the descriptions in my videos, basically except for this one, because it's just it doesn't have a description, you'll see a T link there, mate. So thank you if you choose to buy one. I appreciate it. I think the shipping is pretty awful to some places around the world, but some it's not so bad. So thanks, mate. The chat disappears here. Come on, come back. Current thoughts on the Epiphone Les Paul Custom since your last review? It's good. Yeah, I have no problems recommending them. I actually think they're a much better guitar than the SGs. They feel like a better instrument. SGs are a bit flimsy feeling, especially on the neck joint. I don't know, it's because there's not much there. And that sort of like unbalanced neck thing kind of bugs me a bit about SGs. So yeah, I would say that would be a much better guitar. I have no problems recommending them. Shane from is it John? Is that how you pronounce that? Sir, yeah, all right, I can't pronounce that. Near Montreal. Ah, okay, that's why it sounds French. Can you tell me the exact model of the Weber 15-inch speaker that you recommended for my Delta Blues? There's forum posts all over the place about that. Just, hang on. Weber speaker for Delta Blues. Yeah, go to the gearpage.net. That's where there's like so many of these forums. It says the Weber Blue Dog. Or Cali 15. Eminence make one as well called the Big Ben. But yeah, see if you can find some audio samples of them before you just buy one. Make sure you know what you're getting and what you don't like about current speaker. I did a post at guitarspeakerguide.com where you can, it goes over like what you want to be aware of before you change the speaker, including like it sometimes not being better than the one you got. You got to really find out what it is about the one that you have that you don't like before you swap it. If it's faulty, that's a different thing altogether. But the Weber speaker is going to kill the one that's in that Delta Blues already, and they're not bad speakers anyway. But yeah, it'll make a huge difference. They're really pro sort of speakers. I would say the Eminence would be a great upgrade too. They're my favorite speakers. We've got Jade and Peter. It says, hi mate from Clyde North, love the channel. Thanks, thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Marshall GS40 is my favorite amp. Yeah, it has been for ages. Like I love the Delta Blues. We're just talking about one. I love the Fender Blues Deluxe as well. But if we're talking about live amplifiers, there's nothing that beats the Marshall. You can use it without any pedals, or I can use it with pedals. It's got an effects loop that works well. Yeah, it's just super cool. And plus, like I've modded mine too. I put a speaker in there that kind of made it sound a bit more like my Fender amp to some extent, but it works well for what I like, and that's what it's all about. Sing Buddy Guy, play with Jimi Hendrix Experience live was something. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's super cool. Far out. Be one of those shows you can't, like everyone would want to go to. I reckon that'd be great. Hey, I was down to you. I bought my custom PRS SE Custom 24 in the green, and I love it. Wondered if you ever used the orange Micro Terra head. I don't remember ever making a video of one. I may have, but I don't think I have. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy the guitar, by the way. But yeah, I haven't tried a lot of orange amps. I may have done a video on it. It feels like I've played one before, but it had this like really little speaker, which probably wasn't doing it a whole lot of justice. So if you're gonna get one, maybe buy a little bit of a bigger cab. Hey James, thanks again, man. Far out. Did you see this year's Epiphone Joe Bonamassa? No, I haven't. What is it? What is it this year? Is it like a Les Paul or do they do like another V or something? Oh, yeah, so it's Les Paul. Cool. I'm a bit out of touch with all the new stuff that comes out. I kind of switch off from a lot of the NAMM videos. I don't know what it is. I just, it's like everything you, man, it's so cold in here. Hang on. It's like everything you just bought is now junk. That's the mentality of NAMM, and I'm a bit sick of it. Like, oh, next year's guitars are going to be better. Then they're not going to be better. It's going to be different. Unless, there's severe issues with one of the companies or something. It's like next year's everything will be better than everything you've ever seen. And that's the hype of those sort of product shows. That's why I don't go. It's like, man, how much? Yeah, anyway, that's my little rant. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon. I'll just take a couple more questions here. Thanks for testing this out. Thanks for hanging out. I'm glad the switching system works. It's going to make life a bit more fun for hopefully better live streaming. Have I heard Kingfish? Yeah, I have. You know, I'm not overly blown away by him, to be honest. I know that's probably going against the norm. But yeah, I've heard his Empty Promises, and it's got nothing on the original, man. Like, Michael Burks blows him away. He's a talented young guy, but he's by no means like one of the best guitar players or singers I've ever heard. I actually think his vocals are pretty weak. He's a great singer, but they're nowhere near as good as anybody on this, well, almost anybody. Any of these guys, man, like, it's not even close, in my opinion. I think he's great, but I don't think he's that great. But yeah, talented guy. Well, this is my opinion. Everyone likes different music too, so don't worry about it. So I know some people can't stand JJ Cale, right? Some of my friends, I'm like, man, I love JJ Cale. I couldn't care less what anyone thinks, so you just got to like what you like. Thoughts on value for money on Washburn guitars in general? Have I had the opportunity to play any? Usually they're not. The ones I've seen in lefties are usually at second-hand shops, and they don't play or sound that great. I've had very limited experience with them. Maybe others in the chat here will be able to shed some light on that as well. But yeah, in terms of Washburn, they're generally like a lower end kind of brand. That doesn't mean they're junk, but you see a lot of the like $70 ones in the cash converters and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I would probably opt to go for something like a Cort. Yeah, especially being in Australia, I think you said you were too. Like Cort guitars, C-O-R-T, much better acoustic guitars, electrics. I would play those any day of the week. Harley Benson Tube 15 is the best selling now. Any thoughts or feature review? You know, they haven't contacted me about it. So yeah, I don't necessarily like email companies very often, maybe 3 times a year. That's about it. I'm not that interested in like spending time on emails and all that. So I can send them an email and ask, but yeah, I haven't been in a position where they're sending anything out. So at least anything new out anyway. Agreed, picked up one, not impressed with the SG. Maybe I should swap the Blues Junior speaker for a Cannabis Rex or Swamp Thing. Yeah, well, there you go. So I did a full, what I believe to be the best speakers for that amp on that website I mentioned before, guitarspeakerguide.com. Texas Heat is currently in the Marshall. Yeah, it's been in there since probably close to a year, maybe 8 months or something. When am I going to the Crossroads? Yeah, that'd be fun. Marcus King's, yeah, he's a great player. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Kingfish. I'm not, you know, for me, it's like, it's a combination of things. It's not only the stage presence that I actually enjoy. There's a certain thing in some people's vocals, and I can't sing to save myself, right? But if I'm just, as an objective listener, you listen to Michael Burke sing Empty Promises, and then you listen to Kingfish. I'm not saying like, they're two different people, and it's his own interpretation. You could say that about anyone doing a cover. But I'm not that impressed, as I would be with, because I've loved Michael. If you go to, type in Empty Promises on YouTube, find Michael Burks, the original guy. 11 years ago, I commented. I was like, man, this guy's amazing. Where's he been? So, yeah. Yeah, it's all... sorry, who was the other guy you mentioned? Sorry. Yeah, Michael Burks is a tough act to follow. Yeah, totally. Yeah, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, like, that's my basis for comparison. No one knew that Empty Promises was a cover. It seems like people are just enamored by someone doing blues, it seems. But, yeah, man, Michael Burks, just a monster. His weight is going to kill Kingfish. I can hear him breathing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, as sad as that is, the dude has to start looking after his weight. Will I ever come back to Michigan? Hello from Petoskey. Wow, very cool. So it's been 21 years since I was in... No, actually, I'd been there prior to that. But when I worked over there, it was 21 years ago. And yes is the answer. I'd love to go back. Mostly to see the top sort of section of Michigan. Yeah, I'd love to revisit a few places actually. Petoskey's, yeah, right on that list. One of my favorite towns in the US. It's like something out of a TV show you see when you're growing up. Any FR video reviews in the future. I don't really, this is another thing I don't understand, why people buy these full frequency, whatever they're flat response speakers. I almost don't get it. Like, if you're going to be plugging an amp modeler into something, just buy an amp. I know that's kind of a bit weird to say that, but no, I'm never going to be buying one of those. Maybe I could get a loaner of something and plug the Kemper in, but if I'm doing that, why can't I just play the amp? So, yeah, I kind of feel like they've got a very specific audience, and I'm not that person. I'd rather just use a cheaper modeling amplifier I can turn on and just play than have to buy a really expensive speaker just to get a slightly better tone with my Kemper. It's like, really, I got studio monitors, like, and that's not a dig at you, by the way, it's just in general. I'm talking like just in general terms. I don't understand those speakers at all. I don't know why people buy them. If I had 200 bucks, would I upgrade the pickups in the SE or just get a pedal? Just get a pedal. There's nothing wrong with those pickups. At least in mine anyway, the SE Custom 24. Pickups are bloody amazing. Does the Texas Heat sound a little warmer? It does. So it basically takes out the top end a little bit on the amp, which is exactly what you want. It'll boost the lows and this fat low mids thing that the Marshall stock speaker doesn't have, and it shaves off the treble. So it's a much better upgrade. Go to the website as well. I got a full like best speakers for that amp, and I've tried a number of them in there, and also tried a couple of custom. There's another one of these that were released a while back, a silver one, and if you're looking for something a bit more warmer and rounder, like a Fender sound, without that really bright sound of the Celestion that's in there by stock, the Texas Heat is great. Yeah, Michael Burks, yeah, I agree, Jada. I mean, like, Michael Burks is, first time I heard him was Empty Promises, right? I heard him, I was like, who the hell is this? Like, he's got the voice of Albert King, and he can rip. He plays a lot of traditional bluesy stuff, but the guy can shred. He's one of the few guys on an album that I've got. He's got a Strat with EMG pickups, and everyone's like, oh, EMG's only for shredders or whatever. But man, the tones are just crazy good. Yeah, it comes down, he was one of the first guys. I remember when I was looking at buying a Dr. Z amp. This was years ago, probably 10 years ago. I was starting to get the gas for one, and I'm looking up Brad Paisley clips and looking for other artists, and I found Michael Burks. I was like, wow, that was longer than that, 11 years ago. Just unbelievable. Like, yeah. If you like Albert King's vocal, and you like someone who's got a bit more of much more of a blues rock vibe, guitar playing wise, he's definitely he's definitely worth checking out. Hi folks, G Shane, busting out live streams. Yeah, we just did a bit of an unboxing, and we're testing out the switcheroo I've got going on here as well, which is all over the place now because we move the cameras around. But yeah, this will make doing some stuff coming up on the channel a lot easier, hopefully. So yeah, it looks like it's all working, which I'm rapt about. It looks like it was all my internet causing the problems with the last one of these units. So very cool. I plug my head rush pedal board into my amp most of the time, but it's great into a PA. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there you go. It's good to have one of those speakers if you don't have an amp. I guess I'm looking at it from someone's perspective that has a set of studio monitors for my computer and also a handful of different amps I can play. So it might be different for other people. They might not have a whole lot of analog style amps or whatever to play into. And maybe that's the best solution for someone who just wants to have one thing and have everything. So yeah, I guess in that regard, it actually works out okay. Hey, Dean Matters, far out, man. One of Melbourne's finest. Welcome, mate. That's awesome. Very cool. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you, I don't know if you've got a YouTube channel or not. I can't remember if I subscribe to it or whether I just follow you on Instagram. Let's have a look. Oh, you do have a YouTube channel. Or unless it's somebody else. Hang on, let me find out. All right, done. If we've got any other drummers here, or if you want to hire a good drummer, there you go, done. We're rocking the same hairstyle now, mate. I like it. We've both got the non-winter haircut. Hopefully that's the right channel too. I think I posted the right link. Should be good. Kerry Kearney, I don't know who that is. All right, I'm gonna hang on, let me just find something real quick. All right, for all the speaker questions, click on this. I just posted a link. So literally go find the search tool. It's up the top, I think. Or where is it? Yeah, there's a navigation thing at the top. Just go speaker by amplifier. Click on that, and then scroll down to the Marshall one. I'll give you all the information that you need. Stream looks great, although it might just be me. I think your lip sync is a fraction off. All right, well, this is good to know because it may be one of the cameras is slightly different. So if it's okay now, then it's this guy. That's probably the culprit. I had a feeling it might be causing some problems. I'll watch it back anyway. Oh, not the whole thing, obviously, but I'll watch it and have a look and see if it's not too bad. I can offset the audio sync slightly, but it's actually going directly into this camera, so the audio should be synced. Like there's no external audio. I mean, I'm using a mic, but it's going straight to the camera. So it should be okay. If it's out, it could just be that this other camera sucks. But this one should also be good. That's the theory. You're right, lip sync issue 2. Okay, that's cool. I'll work it out, that's fine. Yeah, Josh Smith is great. You know, I didn't go to his show at all when he was out here. I don't think I really knew enough about him back then to go, oh yeah, I'm keen to go. I mean, I'd seen some of his stuff, but not enough. He's phenomenal. I should have gone. My sync is spot on. Might be the client side. Okay, thanks, Curtis. I'll have a look anyway. Look, sometimes the audio can sort of just, I don't know. I don't know if it's an encoding thing or it could be a CPU thing, but anyway. Let me have a quick look. Oh, I can't do it while I'm doing this, otherwise it'll feed back. But anyway, it is all good. Okay, I was looking to do, oh, right speaker, found a shop for it too. Very cool. Yeah, there's only a handful of people. Like, I get most of my speakers from 5-Star Music. If they've got one, they're a good bunch of dudes. They don't really know that I do the online thing or anything. I just go in there and buy stuff. So they're good guys. There's another place through, what is it, eBay that sell Texas Heat speakers as well. My sync is fine too. Do a refresh, Control F5, see if it happens. Okay, well, there you go. All right, yeah, I'll show the guitar off again. All right, we'll have a quick look at them and then I'll wrap this up. So let's get this sorted out. So we'll go backwards this time because it's going to be, oh, it's not even in there. So I've got a custom shop on loan. By the way, I don't own this. This is custom shop Les Paul 56. Beautiful back. It looks absolutely stunning. upside down logo, you know, right-handed neck. For those commenting on that before. It's in tune out of the box, or close enough. Yeah, it was very cool. And in the case, it weighs about 100 kilos. So it's got that going for it. Man, this case is so heavy. It's unbelievable. I'm stunned how heavy it is. It does have some extra stuff in there, but that's just packing foam. So yeah, it comes in a nice, beautifully pink interior case here. So that's one of them. And the other one, which is the huge one, I'll just grab that. Move this. Sorry about the hoodie. This place gets so cold. This will be the last winter I'm here, I'm tipping. Oh, look at the size of this. You serious? Oh. All right, so this is another loaner, Gibson as well. I do have some non-Gibson guitars coming up on the channel also, but there's been an influx of Strat videos, so we need a bit of balance. Here it is. This case is just so big. There it is. I think this looks pretty great, I gotta tell you. Like, my Flying V is in its case just over here, and it's essentially the same guitar. It feels the same neck, like neck thickness wise. The biggest difference is obviously this crazy body, but the headstock. Headstock is very, very different as well. I gotta say, I don't like the headstock as much as I like the Flying V one, but I don't dislike this actually. It's good having a Gibson with 6 on a side, much like a Fender guitar. I find that a lot easier to tune, like to restring a guitar, I should say. Weight-wise, this is nice and light as well. Yeah, it feels great. It really does. I haven't like actually put it on or anything in terms of with a guitar strap, but I'm sure it's going to be great. Yeah, this case was hilarious, and the box, man, the box wouldn't have even fit in my car. So it was like, you know what? I'll just take the hard case. Keep it away from the cat. But yeah, it is. Look how tall this thing is. Are you kidding me? It is a beast. So that is what we've got going on. All right, I'll just quickly check the chat. Gold top with Les Paul P90s. Gold top Les Paul with P90s, glorious. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Thanks, Jennifer. I'm going to compare it to mine, the little TV yellow one that I've got. See how we go. 5-star in Ringwood, good joint. Yeah, they got lots of great stuff. It's one of the, like, Sky Music's probably my favorite for guitar range. But in terms of a shop that's got a bit of everything, you know, they're pretty hard to beat. They got lots of great stuff, lots of different things, like the home studio stuff they got plenty of. They got lots of speakers. They've always got a lot of speakers, which is really cool. Do I edit the videos by myself? I do everything by myself. Everything. The only time I don't is if Rick's in a video, and then like I do all the editing, everything. Everything to do with the websites, everything. It's a big job, but it's fun, so it's not so bad. Played a 2014 custom shop Les Paul a few months ago, and there were mistakes in the binding. Wow, that looks beautiful. Like, as soon as I took that out of the box earlier, yeah, it looks flawless to me. I mean, I haven't gone over it with a microscope or anything, but it looks to be pretty perfect, and that's my experience with Gibsons. I stopped buying them for a good few years because I didn't like them. It was always something that wasn't right, or something that was annoying enough to go, oh, no, I'll give it a miss. The Flying V and that Les Paul Special, I've done nothing to, and they're both great. Goldie Les Paul P90 is on the bucket list. Do it, man. They're a cool guitar. Go listen to some Sean Costello, and then that'll give you even more gas. I love your Flying V. Much want one, not needed yet want one. Yeah, that's pretty much how the guitar thing goes. Like, I tell you what, the V is one of the most fun guitars I've got. It's completely different. No one I know plays one. They've got their own vibe. They're light, they're super light. They've got the great action. The pickups are probably the best humbucker pickups out of all the instruments. It has to be close. I might even compare them at some point. Thanks, Todd. Yeah, there you go, man. You got to get that Explorer. Do it. Let me just scroll through here. Need versus wants. Wants always wins. Yeah, it does a lot of the time. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, it's a dangerous time for a lot of musicians who might also have other jobs, because not gigging and just using what you got. A lot of people buy stuff in that sort of downtime. It's pretty dangerous. John says, I finally know now you edit your own videos. That's an awesome improvement over your old video skills since you first started on YouTube. Keep it up. Cheers. Thanks. I'm trying to improve everything every year. That's the goal. I don't buy new cameras every year, and I'll probably have these ones until at least 2 of these until they don't work anymore. But yeah, it's always, you gotta get better with everything you do. Playing wise, if I even look at the, like, not having lighting and looking at my old chops used to just be blues. That was it. I had nothing else in my playing, really. So over the years, it's progressed, and I've been working at it. Not enough, but just enough to keep it improving over the years, or get the fluidity up and all that kind of stuff. So thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, the editing's brutal. It's a switcher like this, where you can switch cameras, would be something that I'll probably use more of coming up for long form content, where I might be doing a podcast, or I might have some other reason, like say I wanted to record a live session at a venue. I could take this, switch the cameras in real time, or have someone do it. And then I don't need to do all the editing later. So there's guys that just use this kind of stuff for the YouTube channels, but I find the videos are always a bit too long. With switches, it's easy just to forget about it. For me, I like to use these for specific things, mostly for streaming, I think, is what it's going to be used for the most. But yeah, everyone's got their own style and flavor and all that kind of stuff. It's cool. Everyone does different things. I must admit the neck joint on my 2019 Explorer has some filler where the neck joins on the body, but the guitar looks and sounds and plays great. Also has a crazy speckle rosewood neck. Oh, okay, cool. Filler where I think you usually see like the glue, right? I could be wrong, but that might not be filler. It may be, but I'd be shocked if it is. I'd be keen to see some photos. Only a fortnight ago, I built a pedal board. Now just 3 more pedals. This weekend, I had to order a bigger board. Oh man, that's the problem I always have. Except my problem's always the opposite. I'll go buy a larger board, and then I'll use it for like a gig and realize I don't use 2 of the pedals, so I'll downsize again and then sell the board I just bought. I've done that twice. I did that twice last year or the year before. I'm like, nah, it doesn't fit on the board now. I'm not planning on buying another big board. I actually want to get another one that's the same size. I'd love to put a secondary board together. Same carry bag and all that kind of thing. So we might do that down the track. But I love my main pedal board. I don't want to upsize it, and I don't want to downsize it. I much prefer not upsizing my pedal board just for the sake of the wah pedal. The wah can just sit on the floor. I've taken all the Velcro off. I've bought new like foot things for it, little rubber feet. I don't know where it is. And that can just live on the floor next to the pedal board. It's definitely wood filler. Okay, they're far out. I'm kind of shocked. No, that's all right, Wes. Yeah, I was just interested to see if it wasn't. Sometimes you can see like between it. Oh, so, it depends on the finish too, but on like natural finish necks, you can kind of sometimes see there's like a layer between where it's sort of sitting, and that could be the glue. But yeah, I take your word for it, mate. I'm not a luthier either, so all good. But as long as it plays well and that, you're going to be fine. The trick is to try and find joy in the editing process. Try and find the satisfaction of taking raw videos and turning it into slick content. I just try to make I'm actually, there was this sort of like unwritten rule where, well, it wasn't unwritten, but everyone kind of knows about it. You had to make content that was 10 minutes. Everyone's like, I gotta fill it out for 10 minutes. And then you get a 10-minute video where only 6 minutes of it is any good. And then I've released some sub 10-minute videos and some of them did really, really well. So I almost think they've gotten rid of that. I'm gonna start going back to, I always try to condense my videos down, but I'm being really selective, or being more selective with what is going in them and just trying to fill them up to where the good stuff is and trying to scrap the rest. So I've always got room to improve with the videos. I know that. Like, the video quality is fine and all that, but the delivery and explanations could be shortened and things like that. So where to get the posters? So all these ones I got off Google. You could get every single one of these from Google Images and just go to Officeworks or an office supply shop and get them printed and matte laminated. Yeah, I think, you know, long videos can be good if they're good. Imagine watching a really, really bad 20-minute video versus one that's full of really great content that goes for 10. Like, which one are you going to watch? You know, so if it's a great long video, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I totally agree. That's why the podcast videos do so well, because they're made to be like, they're long form content. You get more time to explain stuff. I know from my analytics, no one's going to sit there and watch a gear video for more than like 8 minutes. It's just not going to happen unless it's a live stream, or if it's a podcast or something, that's different. But gear videos, people just don't, they want to hear something, you know, and if they know instantly if they like it or not. Most people won't watch just because they won't watch the whole thing if they don't like what it is that's in there. So yeah, there's a fine line between unnecessarily long and good long content. Headrush pedal board is a Velcro free solution. There you go. Yeah, they're cool. My friend Dom's got one of those. I borrowed one off him a while back. I think if it's like, the problem I have with not a lot of YouTube channels, but I guess a handful of them is, I try to keep I guess my intention with it isn't to draw focus to myself with gear videos. Like, this is a hangout, this is cool, we talk whatever, but on a gear video, get to the point. That's my mentality with it. I don't want to hear stories about unnecessary things and I don't know, maybe it's changed a bit over the years, but I feel like still a lot of people aren't going to spend 20 minutes watching a pedal video. Like, I wouldn't. Make it as short as you can and to the point, done. Because as soon as you click play, you know if you like it or not. Because it's all that subjectivity thing. So people will just go, nah, done, off. So it's just, and that's the majority. That's the funny thing about effects and amps. They've got a longer term reach, but people who are just interested in gear, who will watch one, you know instantly if you click with the person who's playing, if you play their style, if they play a completely different style, you'll click off it. Plus, then you got the balancing act of, do they like you, mixed with, do they like the tone of the actual thing? So I try to keep just as focused on getting it done, and then at the end of the video, I'll say what I think about it. But yeah, I can't do 30-minute pedal videos. It's just a waste of time. You should be able to get it all done quickly and make a good, concise video that kind of encapsulates it. I watch a lot of tech channels, and they're the masters of piecing together videos. They are the absolute masters. I've had a few viral videos on my tech channel, especially since the lockdown. They got hundreds of thousands of views, and the formula was amazing. And I've actually like taken that formula. They're help tutorial videos, so they're a lot different to what I'm doing on this channel. But you know, it's that engaging lot of information in a specific amount of time and quality of the information. So yeah, it's when it's something subjective as opposed to like giving instruction on something, it's hard to sit around for that amount of time. I watched 7-hour videos that were great info but kind of boring, but still enjoyed the video. Well, that's it. I mean, look, I watch probably my favorite channel now, it's been surpassed, is Red Letter Media. I love their YouTube channel. I can watch their videos over and over. Not all of them, but a lot of their videos are 40 minutes, and it goes like that. You know, that's the magic. That's the magic. I don't know too many solo YouTube personalities that can really make videos that long and make them as engaging as, you know, a group of really funny people. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. It's all personal choice. Being a music gear review channel, do you encounter much copyright issues? You know what? I don't. There's only a handful of times where I've had those problems and they were retracted. So all the intro tracks, either one of two of my friends on drums, Drew or Richo, and I got another guy that I actually have subscribed to on his personal, his business account website, Jim Dooley, who is a great drummer. So I use real drums. I play all the bass myself. I don't blatantly copy songs for more. If I play a riff, it's usually short, or I tweaked it in a different key. So yeah, I don't usually have too many issues with that. The ones that I've had in the past were John Mayer flagged a lick lesson video. Bunch of pricks. It wasn't even the same riff. It was in a different key. The title of the thing said like, out of my mind, slow blues style intro lick. And the lick was different, and they flagged it because they're pricks. So yeah, I just deleted the video. Anytime that happens and there's no recourse, I take the video off. I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my time with it. So that's part of the reason I don't do a lot of lessons, and I don't really enjoy it. But the other time is Dr. Rick can play songs note for note really, really well. And we had a couple of claims on a few videos, but it doesn't matter. No massive copyright strikes other than Jimi Hendrix LLC. This was years ago. They copyrighted a Red House cover I did with my band, so I deleted that video as well. It's like, oh, done. But I don't play anything other than royalty-free music from either stuff I've made or from the YouTube audio library. So I make sure there's a couple of songs that I also have used from a royalty-free website, but they're all on YouTube audio library now too. So yeah, I keep it very cover band free. I don't want to do too much of that. I might hint at songs, but I usually twist the end of it up. So yeah, I don't get any really fulfillment out of covering like a lot of pop songs. Blues is different for me. I don't see it as a cover band thing. I see it more of you got your own vibe when it comes to playing something. But cover bands, yeah, never really been my thing. The Pedal Show do very long vids, but having two guys laughing and enjoying what they do makes them very watchable. Yeah, it definitely helps having more than one person in a video like that. But you know, the thing is with the pedal videos, man, like people, I'm sure most people feel the same. Like, have you not already seen everything pretty much? There's a few things here and there that come up that you go, oh, this is cool, it's a bit different, and that's cool. But yeah, I just have a hard time watching any pedal videos. That's why I make so very few of them these days. I'd be lucky to make maybe one a month now, maybe two, probably two a month. Yeah, digital effects ones seem to go over all right, but most of the analog ones are pretty tough, unless I just buy something on an impulse like that bloody, what was it, the TC Electronic one. But yeah, definitely having more than one person makes the video a hell of a lot more entertaining, no doubt about it. Oh, oh wow, you got a DSL 40 for 500 bucks from Cash Converters. That's great. Well done, Todd. Very good. Very cool. Yeah, that's a good point. Where to go? A video should be as long as it needs to be. Yeah, I totally agree. There's a difference between narcissism and making quality long content. Have I seen Rob Chapman's recent videos? Do you think he's changed? I'm not convinced. No, I don't follow any of those guys. You know, the only guy I really like his playing is Danish Pete. Rob Chapman, I didn't mind. You know, I don't think he's probably trying to be. Look, we all know what happened with the drama and all that kind of stuff, but I just don't get involved in it, and I don't follow Andertons anymore. I kind of feel like, if you met any of these guys, they're probably cool. I say probably, I haven't met them before, but the captain seems like a pretty nice dude. I can't watch most of that stuff. I don't get any value out of it. I'm not saying like what I make is valuable, but I'm just saying I can't sit there and watch. It comes back to what I was saying before. You find the players that you relate to and all the personalities or something like that. Yeah, his playing's not really, I don't hear it in my head, so I don't watch a lot of his stuff. But I think he's a great musician. I got to tell you, I think he's, at least in terms of his guitar playing, he's great. But no, I haven't watched any of his stuff. It doesn't really interest me. I think once I found out a lot of these shop guys were doing a lot of post-production on gear, it kind of made me go, oh. So yeah, and when you fall victim to that too, you kind of shake your head and go, how come mine doesn't sound like that? Oh yeah, they did post-production. Oh, great, thanks. Anyway, yeah, it is what it is. Look, I don't have any, I've never dealt with either of those guys before. I'm sure if you were to meet them, they'd be nice. But you got to remember too, man, the bandwagons seem to I commented on this on a live stream interview I did on another channel, where I feel like the bandwagons are the easiest steamroller to, steam train to get on, because everybody loves gossip. Everybody loves to see someone who's successful fall. It's human nature for whatever reason. People are drawn to that crap. And then you get all these other YouTube channels making videos. Oh, look what Rob did. I don't care what Rob did. Make something worth watching. Give us something we can learn. I just don't care. So yeah, look, I haven't checked them out. Maybe it's time I have another look. But yeah, business is brutal, man. People are pretty cutthroat. I'm not saying he was, but just in general, So there's a lot of stuff that would go on in business, whether it be like Amazon or eBay, I don't know, just any company around the world, that you'd have to shake your head if you knew the full story. But then you got to ask yourself, how does this affect me? And if it doesn't, then don't watch it. Yeah, people just love to see people who are doing well sort of fall. It's the way it is. It happens all of the time. It's what sells, anything, is all that kind of drama. Have I tried the Cali 76? Yeah, I have. I used to own one. It's the best compressor I've ever used, hands down. The Keeley's probably a close second. The Cali's probably easily the best. I did a video with a custom shop tally of that. If you find it, just type in Cali 76 in the blues. The tone was great. So yeah. Dave Simpson is awesome. Man, Dave is such a dude. He's an absolute dude. Great player, really nice guy. Him and I message each other and stuff. He's a good dude. So if you don't know Dave Simpson, guys, go check him out. His channel is pretty much like, he does gear stuff, but he's a proper muso. He's a great player. A lot of songwriting stuff, arranging stuff, bit of everything. He doesn't have the slick production, but it doesn't matter. He's definitely worth watching. I was on his live stream the other week, a few days ago. Reaction videos are lame. Look, they can be fun, right? Like, I like what Michael Palmisano is doing with his, because he's an actual great guitar player. But generally, yeah, I won't watch those unless they're good, and most of the time they're not. Sometimes, I get hooked. I shouldn't say that. I've watched certain ethnicities of people watch the opposite group of ethnicities' music and dig it. And I love those kind of things where it's like, music's this in the center. Everyone loves it. It doesn't matter if you're from, like a country background or a rap background or whatever. You can still enjoy everybody's music. That's why, there's so many random things on this wall. Oh, there'll be more actually. I want to deck out the lower section as well. But if you went through what would be my CD or virtual CD library, you just go, what? You're listening to Brad Paisley, but you're listening to metal. Like, or you're listening to Warren G. It's like, yeah, man, you can enjoy everything. You just got to find the good stuff. Yeah, Dave Simpson's he's a great player. Yeah, no question about it. You were on Dave's stream the other day. I will rewatch it. Didn't? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was on there. I think he was doing something. I sent him a couple bucks, and he was. I think he was in the process of like, what was he doing? He was setting up his Zoom, like pedal board into something else and testing some stuff out. He's a cool guy. What do I think of Duesenberg? Some of the best guitars I've ever played. The TV Star Player rocks. That one in particular is my favorite. I'm really enjoying Tom Bukovac's homeschooling videos. Yeah, man, there's another pro right there. Absolutely. See, it's funny because I feel like YouTube's going through this weird and great thing right now. It's almost like you could get away with any quality if you're great at what you do. And that's always been true. Like, there's a lot of successful channels that quality is secondary in terms of production of cameras, lights, that sort of stuff. He's a great example of someone who's just going to do extremely well no matter what, because he's a gun player and he knows his stuff. So yeah, if you've got quality content, the rest of it is secondary. But if you've got bad content and your production's terrible, it's never going to get anywhere. So there's a fine line there. Another fine line. I said that a few times. It's like the 15th time. Do I know Pete Thorne? I have. I've met him. He's a lovely guy. Amazing player, but all-around nice guy. Does great reviews and amps and other things. Yeah, he's a really good dude. I met him a couple of years back. We actually did he was going to be on the big jam session video, but unfortunately something else came up and he couldn't do it. But yeah, we did one video together where we were talking with a bunch of different guys, and he was sort of giving his 2 cents on how to get out of a rut, basically, was the idea of the video. Yeah, he's a serious player. Yeah, great dude. Did I catch Tool? You know what? No. Yeah, there's a handful of bands that I loved when I was younger. Tool was one of them. And my taste, or maybe it's a time and place thing, I don't know what it is, but I feel like if some bands were to come out now, they would sound really out of place. Or I don't feel the same way about the vocals or whatever as I did in Tool. Maynard is one of those guys. I feel like his vocal is dated. It doesn't do what it did for me anymore. I don't know what it is. Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan is another guy. Great band, time and place. I got all their discs back in the day. I just feel like that vocal just doesn't fit in anymore. Like, I could be wrong. Let me know if you think about that. Like other bands, one of the great Australian bands, Midnight Oil. Back in the day, man, they were killing it. You hear it now, you go, man, the vocal's like awful. Like, how did this get? I mean, great songs, right? The arrangements are great. Fantastic drummer, great guitar parts. There's a lot to love about the music. But yeah, Tool is one of those bands for me. I can't listen to the vocal. It just does nothing for me anymore. It's really weird. And I had 2 of their albums. I don't know how many they've got, but I had Anima, and I had the one before it, which I've forgotten what it's called. But yeah, I think I ended up getting rid of them at one point. So I ended up taking them all to a CD place and just getting rid of them. But yeah, look, I think they're a really musical band. Don't get me wrong, so don't take that the wrong way. But yeah, it's a band that went under the, like I hadn't really listened to for so many years, and when I did, I was like, I'm not really into this anymore. It's a bit too weird. Have I tried the Hawaiian music? You know, I've heard some of it, and it's pretty clear that country music pretty much stole Hawaiian music, although very heavily influenced, we should say. I don't mind smallish channels with lower production. I love that Dave Simpson does. What I can abide by is 1 million. Oh, I can't abide by is 1 million sub plus channels making money who can't be bothered to invest and improve. Yeah, it's also a personal thing as well. Like some people just don't. They don't want to get better. There's a lot of talking channels that thrived for a long time, but they seem to be on their way out, and they're trying new things. I've noticed, like getting new equipment. It's sort of like it's too late, man. I'm a big believer in trying to make things better, like over the course of time. If it goes the other way, I'll quit. And I hope it doesn't. But yeah, it's got to be within the person to want to make the improvements. I mean, look. Would I love to see Dave Simpson buy a light, just one, cost him $60 or 30 pounds or whatever he uses over there? Absolutely, it would change his production quality, but it doesn't matter because it's not his focus. He just wants to make music. So, Tim Pierce, man, he's a monster. I haven't met him, but Undertow, yeah, there we go. Thank you. I was going to say A Perfect Circle, but I think that was the band prior to Tool, right? Is that right? Hey, David, thank you. Where do you see the blues going, or do you have a direction you wish it would go? Love your channel. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Thanks for the super chat. I only think there's really going to be a handful of great blues players that get well known in the next 10 or 20 years. John Mayer was one of them. Love him or hate him, he was a guy who made blues more mainstream than anyone else in a long time. There's phenomenal musos and talents like Chris Kane, who will, unfortunately, for whatever reason, never get those invites. Or he might, and I hope he does, right? But this guy will run rings around most of the guys at the Crossroads Festival, but he's probably not mainstream enough that people will go, oh yeah, get Chris Kane. So it's a weird sort of scene in general, whether it's in Australia. There's really not a lot of great blues. There's a handful of great blues and that's it, but it's different. Like the American singers are just so much better. It's not even close. Sorry, I've got something's flying around here. I just want to make sure, oh, it's a fly, that's all right. I kind of feel like there has to be, for any blues to be popular now, it would have to be not straight blues. And I'm talking mainstream, because most mainstream things won't ever have it. So it'll be a mix of rock and blues or something like that. But it'd be hard to pick 10 people that are going to stand the test of time in the next 20 years that are current now, like they were back in the day when you had all of the greats, So the scene's changed. There'll be lots of fantastic players. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying there won't be as many household names as there. Oh man, this thing is huge. Did you just see that? Holy crap. So I think it will always be around. Blues won't ever go completely, it won't ever get forgotten. But I definitely think the wave of those man, this thing is huge. The wave of those household names, like your Eric Claptons and your Buddy Guys and all that, Muddy Waters, and it's a pretty tough act to follow, and I got to get rid of this thing, man. It is huge. It's going to just distract me. Yeah, so that's pretty much my 2 cents. Sorry about the running around here, but I want to get this massive fly out of the way. Good God, it's huge. Get out. All right, it's gone. Cool. I'll shut the door. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents. Like Johnny Lang was one of the guys that kind of brought it back a bit, but then he went a little bit more mainstream, because that's where the popularity of the general public is, unfortunately. So, hey, Joseph, thank you, man. Appreciate that. He says, keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Far out. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so David as well. Thanks, mate. The direction I wish it would go is that some of the guys like Clapton and the dudes that are still, well, he might not be touring right now, but coming up to Derek Trucks, obviously is another one I should have put in there as well, but he's not a singer, right? So I always feel like when you're talking about people who are, you know, guitar slingers and the blues heroes are usually singers. And that's the one thing that's sort of stopping me from saying, yeah, the closest thing is this guy. I really feel like that. And Tommy Castro is phenomenal too. But it almost feels like the audience is more limited than what it should be. And that's a real shame because they're just amazing. Eric Gale's another one. You know, he's phenomenal too. Maybe not as strong vocally as some of the other two guys I just mentioned. But yeah, it'll always be around. It just won't ever be popular enough anymore, unfortunately, or as big as that, as it was. Might eat the cat, yeah. I watched Top 40 a few years ago and it was painful to me. I'm getting old. Yeah, well, I think most people feel the same way. It's pretty tough I can't listen to the radio. And you know what, in Australia it feels like we get 200 songs on repeat on the channels that play the older music. And I'm like, I don't want to hear those songs anymore either, so I just leave it off. Listen to something else completely. I'm very particular now. I get in the car and if I'm going to put some music on, it's something that I really want to listen to, or I'm drilling it into my head because I want to try and learn it or play it live. Not a fan of John, but he's pretty amazing. Yeah, he's a great guitar player. Look, I don't really love his vocal. I think his vocal was best in the trio, where he was putting a bit more oomph into it. Now, I've said this before, I don't like his vocal that much anymore, but I can appreciate his skill. He's bloody great. Hey, Peter Gregg. Hey, look at this, Peter. Look what I did. We were, oh, it's a bit out of focus. I moved the focus point before. So Peter Gregg's the culprit. I ended up getting another A10 Mini. I got one like yours, mate, and saved 50%. So yeah, guys, go check out Peter Gregg's channel. It's great. He's the king of the live streams. He's the most animated guy I'll ever meet. But yeah, finally got just the regular one going USB into the computer. So hopefully it's working all right. If there's any sync issues too, Peter, let me know. I know your gear, so if there's any issues there, a few people said the audio sounds out or looks slightly out. I've got the audio going into the GH5 here. So here we go, the wonky GH5. I moved everything around before, but yeah, it's a bit of a mess in here tonight. This is the G85 and the kit lens, and it's cold. Sorry about the hoodie. Joe Bonamassa, you know, I got to give him props. He's one of the guys that has really carried the torch as well in terms of the blues guys. Like, I don't listen to lots of his stuff, and it's only because I haven't. But yeah, he's one of the guys that have really kept blues going in terms of the younger guys. So you're right. I totally forgot about Joe Bonamassa. So yeah, good stuff. Gary Clark Jr. is another guy that I didn't really like when I first heard him, but then I heard more of him and I went, yeah, this guy's actually really good. Yeah, he's got a different sort of vibe. There's another guy who was more roots than blues called Ben Harper. Ben Harper was great a while back. I haven't heard much about him in the last few years, but yeah. Mike Montesano, is it? Thank you, mate. Love the channel. Congrats on the new Strat. Thank you. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm dying to play live. It all got pushed back until the 12th, which is what's that, 2 weekends away, and then we can play live again. Oh, finally, I'm working on some new songs. I got a new Mofro song. I've got, what was the other one I was working on? Well, that's not good. I can't even remember it. Oh yeah, I've got an old song off the Slow Hand album I'm working on, which is another one. So there'll be a few new songs to break out that Strat 4. It'll be perfect for it. Yeah, the ads just drive you bananas on commercial radio. I can't stand it. And we always, same thing with the adverts, much like, I guess, television. And you know, I've had a YouTube Premium account now for like 18 months, so I don't get any ads on any YouTube videos. I don't see any merch or anything. It's fantastic. It supports the creators as well. It's definitely worth getting. And you can download stuff and just listen to it without having a, you know, you can have your phone off and just download it to your phone. It's a really great app. And that's pretty much spoiled me listening to the commercial radio thing. I just can't do it. It's horrible. I think what's going on, right? My cameras are set. I don't know why YouTube does this, but it does this really weird thing where I've got my camera set to 50 frames per second. So if you're watching in HD, it should look really smooth. And I've got OBS, which is the streaming software, set to 50 frames per second or whatever the source is. I looked on YouTube and it says it's streaming at 60p, which is weird. So because it's an American service, I'm starting to wonder whether or not they just up-res or they change the frame rate to 60p. And if I go to 60p, you're gonna get like a light flicker and stuff. So I might just drop it back to 24 or I usually do 25, but it was worth it. This is just a test today anyway, and it's turned into a 2-hour marathon. It's great. Slightly off, but not distracting. Okay, cool. 102 of us and only 76 likes. Help our buddy out. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that, Mike. Cheers. Yeah, we'll wrap this up pretty soon. My throat's starting to go. I seem to have like a 2-hour limit without cold beverages. This is not cold. Or not fresh, I should say. Yeah, we're lucky there's still so many great blues players around and great guitar players around. Even though they're getting a bit old, there's still a lot of, not all of them are getting old, obviously. There's still a lot of great ones alive, still doing their thing. And the ones that might have played with those guys are also doing great stuff. You know, your Derek Trucks and we're talking about some of the guys before. So, yeah, Warren Haynes, man, he's a guy I've been listening to more and more. That guy, I don't know how he remembers all the parts to his songs. It freaks me out, man. I know he does a lot of covers and stuff, but you know, they're really complicated things. It takes a completely different brain to memorize that stuff. Oh, it shows 60p. Yeah, okay. So there's definitely something going on with that. I did that Stats for Nerds thing and it came up with 60p, which is really weird because 100% the encoder is set to 50. I saw it before. Or is it? Yeah, 50p. So I don't know. I have to do some troubleshooting on that. I would say if there's any audio sync, it's got to do with why ever it's going to, is that even a way to say it? Why ever it's going to 60p from 50, because it's adding frames. It can't be good. Man, really great to catch you on the live stream. On the subject of blues players, have you heard of Taj Farrant? No, I haven't, no. 10 years old. Oh, okay. I've seen some really great, like, sub 15-year-old kids, probably a lot younger actually, probably 12, 10, and they're sorry, yeah, I was just laughing at Peter's comment here. Yeah, they're like little freaks, you know, like they're just unbelievable players at a really young age. Like a lot of the old guys are like, oh, he doesn't have the feel. I'm like, that's because you can't play that good. So yeah, no, I love watching those little kids, man. It freaks me out when I shared a meme recently which said something like, you know, you've been playing guitar 30 years or 40 years or whatever it was on the meme, and then you watch a 5-year-old kid shred, and it was this sad face. I was like, man, that it sums it up pretty much. It's a shame there's so many like guitar players that get, what's the word I'm looking for? Like insecure about a kid who's 5 years or 6 years old. Like some really great little kid drummers too. I don't know how I get on these videos from time to time, but there's this little, I think she might have been Chinese gal. She's like under 10 years old, and she was great. Like, what a player. That's unbelievable. Limp sync is a touch off, nothing you can do, so laugh it off and carry on. All right, will do. Thank you. I'll go back to 25 next time. I don't know why it's up-resing to 60, but anyway. Where is the white Strat? I was beginning to think it permanently attached to your body. I've been playing it a lot. I've been playing it a lot. So it's in the cupboard. I did a bit of a clean up here just today. It doesn't look like it now, but I cleaned the floor in terms of got all the stuff mostly off the floor that I didn't want on it. Moved some things around. So It'll get played again. It'll get played probably tonight. I was actually on your live stream earlier, Peter, but I was just listening while I was doing some stuff around the house. So, very cool. Let me just scroll down. Are you gigging under your new lockdown? Oh, no, we're not. No, not at all. I mean, the venues there are some venues that can get away with it, but where I play, no. So 2 weeks from now, we'll be able to have, I think, 50 or 70 people or something in a place of certain size. So that'll be more than enough where I play. So yeah, you won't see any live clips. And that's part of what I really miss too, because the Sunday night thing for me is not only a social thing. I get to play live. And then I also get to share how well the stuff works in a live mix. I haven't done that for so long. It sucks. Like I really miss the whole live playing thing. It just, I miss being able to, that point of difference from taking something out and making a bit of noise to just doing it at home. It's fine to do it at home, but I really miss really testing something out and seeing if the experience changes when I get in a room. So yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to. The Katana, both of those Strats, the Vola and the Fender, the Mustang GTX, and anything else that's here. You know, I have one video of that Les Paul with the P90s live, and the video audio quality was terrible. So that'll be another one that'll add to the list. I'm also going to go back to not using the Kemper as much coming up. There's a few more videos with it, and then I'm going to go back to the 2 notes. I think the 2 notes is the way to go. I'm going to do a video maybe about both. I love the Kemper, but sometimes, yeah, anyway, it's another story. Miss being not able to get out and play too. Yeah, it sucks. You know, I feel sorry for people who are full-time musos. You know, like, what are they doing now? I'm hoping they're establishing something else. Even if it's something they just add to occasionally online, or a blog or something, just start something. You know, I'm going to do coming up next year, my goal is to start branching out even more. Like, I had a few other YouTube channels, one of them which will be about establishing an online presence. That'll be its premise, and that'll be every video about blogging, YouTube, websites, WordPress, everything, all the SEO tricks. Not even tricks, just the best practices. There's no tricks. It's hard work. No one can scam or cheat the system. So, yeah, you put in the time, you end up getting something out of it that's worth it long term. Especially if you're a musician, I think it's good to have, you know, a secondary thing on the back burner that you can kind of attribute to every now and then. So that'll be my goal next year. I think it's important for me to continually do new things. I've been doing this a long time. I'm not going to quit doing In the Blues, but yeah, I really feel like, you know, there's only so much of the gear thing I can do, and I don't want to just keep pumping out videos just because. I want to, if it isn't, like, I had someone contact me the other day with a sponsored video thing. They said, oh, it's short notice, but do you want to put up a video tomorrow and put this sponsored link in the description? I said, no. So if there's no good content, I'm not posting a video. I mean, live streaming is different, right? But there was no way I was going to make a video plugging some company. I'm like, I wouldn't do that anyway, right? Like a paid plug, and then that was it. Like, I occasionally I've had 2 sponsors on the podcast, and that's it. I would never do that. And I'm like, you got the wrong channel, man. I'm not interested. Yeah, so I always think, like, it comes down to, like, having something to show, or at least something to say. Always catch these live streams at the end. Shannon, don't stress. I'm going to do another one at the opposite end of the day coming up. So it'll be about 5 hours time from now in the next couple of days. I'll definitely do another one. You've missed the switching test that we did today. So this will make life a bit easier for ergonomics as well, and quality, hopefully. I thought you were going back into stay in lockdown because of the new infection levels in Vic. Oh, look, unless something changed in the last 24 hours, I don't know. I don't think so. The problem is too, right? Like I asked a couple of people about this. Like the more tests you do, the more positive numbers you're going to get. But the less tests you do, if those numbers don't go up, then you're fine, right? So it's kind of like, of course, the numbers are going to go up. But I think what Rick was saying was there was some major issue with somebody who was in contact with a lot of the people, but I don't really know. I've stopped listening to it other than the dates. They always say you should keep up with the news and all that kind of stuff, but there becomes a point where it's almost like clickbait news stories. I'm not interested anymore. Give me the facts in 3 minutes. Don't give me a 30-minute speech about all the crap I'm not interested in. Just tell me what the facts are in 3 minutes and I'll watch it. Oh, I don't know if you heard that. It sounded like a tree came down on my roof. I was here the last stream and asked about the 90s Blues Deluxe speaker. Well, it broke down on me yesterday and it's hissing and has a very faint guitar sound when on 12. Has anyone had this before? So it would be most likely your power valves, or it could be a preamp one as well, but I'm tipping it will be a power amp valve. So turn the lights off, have a look, see if any of them look completely dull. Leave it on standby, you don't even have to turn it on. Oh, you might have to, but just have a look at the valves, see if there's any noticeable ones that aren't working properly, just visually, but yeah, dim the lights or whatever and have a look. That's one thing you can do. Another test you can do, get like a pencil and just tap them softly and see if any of them go. If they make any awful noises, that's the faulty one. So I'm tipping that's all it will be. I've had problems with my old Blues Deluxe that dropped volume. It could be one other thing too. Make sure that your speaker is plugged into the correct jack. If it's plugged into the external speaker jack, you get those exact problems. It should be on the one furthest to the edge of the amplifier. So if you've got the amp facing like this way, how am I going to do this? If you're looking at it from the back, like this, it's on this side, the furthest right plug. If it's in the other one, which my one was, you lose your audio. So yeah, just whatever you do, don't unplug the speaker while it's powered on. Do not do that. Oh, while you've got your standby off, so it's live. You can damage your amp. It sounds like a valve. That would be my 2 cents. Those things are bulletproof, man. Unless it's had a drink spilt in it or something like that. It could be like a cold solder joint, but I doubt it. 10 years isn't that old. Some postcodes are being locked down by 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well, all right, I'll check that then. That's interesting. Sounds like a cap may have gone bad. It could be. Like, there could be a number of different things, right? But at least from what I've experienced with my amps, usually when the amp just drops volume or you get no volume, it's usually the power amp valves. Can be the preamps, but usually you still get a bit of sound. I haven't had them both fail at the same time. It's usually, luckily, only been one or the other. So yeah, just take it to someone who knows what they're doing too. I mean, I'm only going through very basic troubleshooting steps. It's probably a right way to determine all of that as well. I've been away from music for years in the blues, playing 30 years, but probably more like 20. Since getting back into it, I'm really motivated to move forward, upload content, hopefully get a band going soon. Very cool, mate. Good stuff, Ross. Do it, mate. You know, the only thing stopping people from doing YouTube is, if you're interested in it, is just doing it and starting somewhere. Most people are scared of their first video not being up to the quality of someone else's who's been doing it for 10 years. And it's like, of course not. But just got to make stuff that's fun. And when it isn't fun, try something else. That's been my motto. I've been lucky to survive on the platform. My channel's not that big, right? It really isn't. I've had a lot of views, but not that many subs. But yeah, it is what it is, man. So just start, you know, do a blog or something as well. You'd be surprised what you can do with a good blog. Way to blow a transformer. Oh, is that in regards to spilling the drink in the amp? Is that what we're talking about? I'm not too sure. Or did I suggest something that you don't like the sound of? No, tapping the there's nothing wrong with tapping the valves slightly. I'm not saying like hit them or anything. It's a good way to check if. Usually, if you get oscillation from your preamp valves, if you tap them, you can easily hear which one's not right. So, yeah, just see how you go. I mean, if you got some better suggestions, feel free to type them out and I'll read them out. Would that cause the crackling in the channel as the sound is electrical? Oh, all right. So you got crackling as well. So that could be a number of things. It could just be a dirty pot. You know, the volume control you might need to give it a spray. It can be that simple sometimes. But absolutely, if you've got some audio and it's a lot of crackling, odds are it's the preamp. That would be my experience with it. Thanks, Shane. I appreciate the kind words. No worries, man. I'm a bit confused. Right, Ross, just write what's going on. I can't, it's hard for me to follow the conversation. So I meant in regards to unplugging the speaker. Yeah, I meant unplug it when it's off, right? So turn the amp off if that's what you're getting at. Then make sure you plug the speaker into the correct thing. Otherwise, yeah, like I said, you're going to do damage to the head. I think I did say that actually. So yeah, I get it. Hey, Michael, hello, welcome, man. Do you know of any good online blues stations? But my favorite online radio station, without question, I just gotta rack the brain for a second. It's called I listen to it all the time. Oh, it's on TuneIn Radio. Hang on. Oh, it's Roadhouse. Hang on. Tune in. It'll start as soon as I open it, so I've just got to. Oh, what's going on? Hang on. Sorry. Yeah, it's called Roadhouse. I better put this on mute. Yeah, Music City Roadhouse. That's what it's called. I usually I click that thing and it comes on. So, yeah, Music City Roadhouse. It's a good mix of stuff. It's a bit of everything. I think they're one of the best at what they do. It's all fan funded as well. There's no real commercials unless they're plugging their fan funding. So it's definitely worth checking them out. I listen. I can have that on, and it feels like I know. Even songs I don't know feel good to listen to. I really like that station. They've got a good mix of like country stuff, southern rock, blues, a bit of everything. I'll take this last one here, and then I think I'll shoot off because I got to get some food. Connor says, "Hey Shane, I've been thinking of building a Tele style or a Les Paul style guitar. I was wondering if the combination of a P90 in the neck and a Tele bridge pickup would be a good combo for blues." I think that'd be great. I think that'd be really fun. I got to tell you though, man, the P90 bridge pickups are pretty special. I don't know if they're better, but they're really cool. My suggestion would be to try to find a vintage P90, something that's a little bit lower output, and then have a matched kind of output bridge pickup. Because you don't want to go from a really, really loud neck pickup to one that's to one that's not as loud when you switch. Oh, here's this guy that doesn't let me sleep for a month. This is Gus, and he's just been sleeping for hours. Great. Yeah, poor Gus, man. He's not settling in too well, I got to tell you. He's a great cat, but yeah, I don't think he's overly conducive to living here. There's a lot of things about it that aren't working. So yeah, it's sad, but we'll see how we go. All right, with that sad note, I'm gonna go. But that's Gus. He's in a few more videos coming up. He's made an appearance in the back. Yeah, I forgot I can do this. There he is. There you go, get the get the butt shot of the cat. Where'd you go, mister? All right. Oh, he's so warm. All right, I'm out of here. Guys, take it easy. DMS, welcome, mate. I'm out of here. Jennifer, take it easy. Thanks again, everybody who used the super chat. Sonia, thanks for modding the chat. I appreciate it. If I missed your question, I apologize. It shows me the top chat. I don't even know what that means, but it doesn't show me every comment. I didn't mean to miss it, but I'll leave this unlisted if you want to watch any of it back for the next couple of hours. Oh, it'll be unlisted for as long as it's up anyway. All right, guys, rock on. Take care. Thanks again for hanging out, and I will catch you all on the next one. Next one will be, like I said, at 10 p.m. my time, which will be, or 11 maybe, maybe in the next couple of days. So, yeah, rock on. Take care. From me and Gus, or Gus and I, catch you soon.